People ache over all the things that constrain them: the job, the relationship, the mortgage, the expectations, the life they somehow ended up inside. They speak of these things as chains, as if they were placed around their wrists by someone else, as if they woke one morning and found themselves imprisoned in a life they had never agreed to. But most of these complaints are nonsense. Very few of the chains are forced upon them. Most are worn voluntarily. Humans need little more than shelter, water, and food. And if you're reading this, I'm guessing you have covered all three. This does not mean life is simple. It means that much of what you call necessity is not necessity. It is preference. You do not need a large house. You need somewhere to live. You do not need the respected career. You need some way to survive. Yet once you build your life around something, it begins to feel essential. The salary becomes essential because your spending has risen to meet it. The status becomes essential because your identity depends on it. The relationship becomes essential because you no longer know who you are outside it. You construct the cage, then you forget that you built it. You call the bars reality. A job comes with obligations. So does family. So does friendship. But people also place countless obligations upon themselves. Be kind. Be strong. Be courageous. Be funny. Be attractive. Become successful. Make your parents proud. Do not fall behind. Do not waste your life. These goals are not inherently good or bad, but every goal has weight. Every desire creates a condition, and every condition introduces a new way for life to disappoint you. If you want to be liked, you become sensitive to rejection. If you want to be respected, humiliation becomes unbearable. If you want to be rich, every misspent hour begins to look like failure. If you want to be admired, another person's success becomes a threat. If you want to be seen as intelligent, being wrong becomes dangerous. The desire does not merely point toward the reward. It creates the pain of its absence. You cannot choose one side and reject the other. The pleasure of being admired comes with the fear of being ignored. The comfort of wealth comes with the fear of losing it. The intimacy of love comes with vulnerability. The freedom of independence comes with loneliness. Nothing is free. Every ambition sends you an invoice. You say you want success, but what you often want is the feeling you imagine success will give you: relief, security, permission to rest, proof that you mattered. But the pursuit rarely delivers these things. It creates more conditions, more maintenance, more to lose. The person who wanted enough money to feel secure discovers that there is no amount the mind cannot fear losing. The person who wanted recognition becomes more dependent on attention with every piece of praise. The person who wanted freedom builds a business that occupies every hour of his life. This is not because the goals were wrong. It is because they were never free. The chain was hidden inside the desire. You were so focused on what the desire promised that you did not ask what it would require. Then, once the price became clear, you complained. You say the job traps you, but you will not accept less money. You say the house traps you, but you will not live somewhere smaller. You say the relationship traps you, but you will not face being alone. You say your reputation traps you, but you will not tolerate being misunderstood. You say your life is too full, but every time space appears, you fill it again. This is why so many people remain stuck. They want freedom without loss. They want change without consequence. They want to break the chain while keeping everything attached to it. But this is not how life works. You cannot leave the career while preserving the identity it gave you. You cannot speak honestly while guaranteeing that everyone will approve. You cannot simplify your life while retaining every comfort. You cannot stop performing while continuing to demand applause. Something must be surrendered. This is the part people avoid. They are not always afraid of freedom. They are afraid of what freedom would cost. The familiar misery still gives them something. The job gives status. The relationship gives certainty. The ambition gives direction. The busyness prevents unwanted questions from surfacing. The chain may hurt, but it also holds something together. It is easier to say you cannot leave than to admit you are unwilling to pay the price of leaving. It is easier to call yourself trapped than to see that you renew the agreement every morning. This does not mean you should abandon everything. It means you should stop lying about the nature of your choices. Perhaps you genuinely prefer the salary to the freedom. Perhaps you prefer security to uncertainty. Perhaps you prefer being liked to being honest. There is no shame in this, but there is something dishonest in choosing the benefit and resenting the price. If you decide that wealth matters, accept the discipline it demands. If you decide that family matters, accept that your time will no longer belong only to you. If you decide that excellence matters, accept the frustration and sacrifice. If you decide that approval matters, accept that other people will have power over your behavior. Do not pretend you are only given the cost. You chose the reward attached to it. Perhaps the real question is not how to live without chains. Perhaps no such life exists. You do not escape chains by pretending you have no desires. You escape unconscious chains by seeing what you have chosen. Then you can decide whether the price remains worth paying. Some chains deserve to remain, not because you are trapped, because you have examined them and chosen them fully. A promise can be a chain. A craft can be a chain. A marriage can be a chain. But there is a difference between a chain you resent and a chain you willingly carry. One feels like imprisonment. The other feels like devotion. The weight may be similar. The relationship to it is not. Look at what burdens you. Then look at what the burden provides. What does the job allow you to avoid? What does the relationship protect you from? What does the ambition prove? What would disappear if the chain disappeared? Do not ask only what you would gain by breaking it. Ask what you would lose. That is usually where the truth is hiding. You are rarely chained merely by the obligation. You are chained by the benefit you are unwilling to surrender. The comfort, the certainty, the identity, the approval, the excuse. Perhaps you could walk away tomorrow, but you won't. And until you're honest about why, the complaint will continue. You will speak of your life as something that happened to you. You will call your preferences necessities. You will blame the chain while protecting the lock. Sincerely, Milo Morrison.